Hey everybody, let's see who have we got. Bella, Lil D Beats, Amanda, Ashley, Whispering Times, Jen Bean, hi, Fiona Forrester, yeah, Martha G, Belina, hello. I did have other plans for tonight, but Amazon gave me the shaft, so I'm bored. Hi KR, Finley, Sanja. Hey, Freezer is your twin. God's shiny head bless you. I'm annoyed. I've been annoyed since yesterday. I was in a stream last night, just kind of watching it, and it always annoys me when people talk about British politics that aren't British. It's just a pet peeve of mine. And it came up. And so I said to the guy, glass houses, because this guy's American, basically saying, is what do you mean by that? And I said, don't get me wrong, nobody was angry at anybody. It's just, I don't usually lose my cool like that. So I said to the guy, well, it's easy for you, I'm from Scotland, Finley, it's easy for you to sit there and talk about my country when you're living in a bigger dumpster fire. And I kind of wish I hadn't said that, to be honest with you, because even if I believe it, it's only temporary, true? And it wasn't a very nice thing to do. But like I said, the guy wasn't angry at me. He's generally a fairly laid-back fella. So that kind of, I've been tense since then because I was disappointed in myself. And then today, I actually had quite a good day today. I got all my videos done quite early. So I've essentially had an extra day. Well, the guy says Count Jack. He's a really nice guy, and like I say, I don't think he's holding any kind of grudge because we weren't arguing with each other. We just kind of expressed views. Let's leave it that way. Oh, anyway, so and I thought to myself, you know, I've got the extra day, so before I went to bed last night, I ordered something I've been meaning to order for maybe 3 years now, and that was a new hard drive for my gaming PC, because the one I had in it crapped out a couple of years back, and it's actually still sitting there for some reason. Don't know why it doesn't work. And so I finally got around to ordering the new hard drive. It's a 2 terabyte Western Digital Black. I usually go with Western Digital. Sometimes they work great, sometimes not, but that's what I usually go with. And that arrived slightly later than they promised me, but it did arrive. And yeah, the tablet's actually working properly now, so I can do all sorts of wonderful details. See that? Couldn't have done that moustache before. And now where was I? Yes, so it arrived, and I thought, great, I'm gonna spend the rest of the night installing the games on my system, because wait out right now, I've got an SSD. I think it's about 500 gig. And that's where my operating system and all my most frequently used programs are on there. And I got a mechanical drive, which is what used to be the setup for just installing games, and that's how I used to do it. But obviously, I kept just, I don't know why. I mean, there's times I've had the money. Other times money's been a bit tight and I couldn't have bought it, but the times I could have, I didn't buy it. So I decided to go ahead and buy it, and it arrived. And I opened it up and I thought, hang on, well, maybe it's the light, because that doesn't look right. So I went over to the lamp to get a proper look at it, and sure enough, add a top hat. Good idea, Jermaine. We'll add a top hat. Sure enough, what they'd sent me was not the 2 terabyte, £116 Western Digital Black drive they should have sent me. It was, in fact, a 2 terabyte Western Digital Blue drive, which is less than half the price, and they charged me for the actual one I'd ordered. Needless to say, I wasn't happy, right? And that's annoying. So that means I now need to... They'll apparently send the proper one tomorrow, but, you know, I'm half expecting them to send me another one that's wrong. Okay, let me get his hat on first, and we'll have maybe a cigar. I don't want to encourage smoking, though, but... Well, that's more like a fez right now. Let's... So they'll apparently send me the proper one tomorrow. Now, this is the part that annoys me. And I knew they were going to do it, but I thought I'd say anyway. Is they can't have the guy bring me the guy, maybe a woman, it's usually a guy that comes. They can't have the guy bring me the actual drive I ordered and take the old one away. There's literally no valid reason why that can't happen. So I've got to then get my proper drive tomorrow and then package up the dodgy one they sent me and get it back to them. That means I've got to go out of my way, which does involve me going out of my way, because it means I need to get up early in order to get to the post office so I can send it back to them, the buggers. Now, let's give it a nice big fat stogie. Well, let's give him a bottle, shall we? One day you'll log on here and I'll be drawing the Mona Lisa flawlessly. I'll get the hang of it eventually. Anyway, so that's my day. And I was sitting here thinking, well, I've had dinner. I've watched Star Trek Discovery. Ending of that annoyed me. And I'm bored for the rest of the night, so I figured I'd do a stream. This is me saying I was going to cut back. This is number 3. A fancy dog. Maybe the dog could have a cigar too. Let's see if I can figure out how to draw a dog. We'll draw a sausage. Right. And a couple of little sausages for feet. Well, there's some more potatoes. Okay, we're going to have potatoes for feet. And... make sure I'm not missing questions here. Isn't it 23 o'clock? Yeah, it's 10 minutes past 11 here, just a user. Okay, hi Night Raven, that's the, I had a Scotty dog. Those little yapper dogs. Tingly voice, I don't smoke. Grumble the freezer. Okay, I think we're all caught up there. The nose is looking a little weird, so let's just erase the parts that don't belong. There we go. There we go. Good work, Night Raven. Thank you, Bella. It's very nice of you to say. What counts as a balanced diet? Well, basically, you've got to do it on a unicycle and then eat whatever you want. That's more of a cat than a dog, isn't it? Well, it could be a cat dog. Back to the pen, brush. There we are. Sierra, I come from the land of Scots. Now that's a good number of views if you've just started doing it, Night Raven. That's good, very good indeed. Oh, I could just, thanks Tingly Voice, I let myself get worked up by things. I mean, this Brexit nonsense, I can't do anything to stop it. I voted against it, I signed a petition, that's literally the extent of what I can do. Thanks, Evie Henry. Love your work and that you cover other stories and things most don't cover. I find your stories are never really repeated by other YouTubers, thanks a lot. P.S. Will there ever be a face reveal? I'm not going to say never, but I don't actually have any plans for a face reveal. The closest you're going to get to a face reveal is a picture of me over on my Instagram account, wearing a Jason Voorhees hockey mask. It's pronounced Evie, is that right? Well, Evie is also short for Evelyn. Thanks, Tingly Voice. I just wish it would all go away and we could get back to pretending we don't actually love Europe, because of course we fucking love Europe. Let's give them curly shoes. Evie has 5 unicycles. So basically you've got 2.5 bikes. I feel stupid trying to get acknowledged by my favourite YouTuber. R.I.P. me. Or rip you, should I just kind of rip you like a bit of paper? That's aggressive. Yeah, I'm thinking, thanks Robbie, I'm thinking of making the, and Sandra, I do see your question. I'll get to that in a little sec. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to take things in order. I do completely lost my train of thought there. No idea what I was talking about. Okay, let's trace back. Oh yeah, right. I was actually thinking about cutting down from 2 of the scary story videos a week to maybe on Wednesday doing Entitled Parents as a regular feature. Andrew Johnson, is that your day job? I don't know who Andrew Johnson is. Yes, this makes me happy. Gosh, thank you so much. Jeez, I watch your videos so much. He said, oh my gosh, you sound like Hugh Grant, Ruby Rose. Terribly lovely. Okay, someone asked me about games. Games that I play. Now, some of you might be getting bored with me on this. I love games where you investigate stuff, so especially the Sherlock Holmes games. And creepy, even with Creepy Watson. I quite like the Sherlock Holmes games made by Frogwares, and keep checking, hoping they're going to do another one. Hoping that if they do another one, they also have like a VR mode for it, because I'd love that. Would be awesome. And I've been getting into VR since 20. Was it last year I got mine? 2018. I think it was 2018 I got it. Somebody's taking something as a yes. Well, no, that's a firm no, because I don't know who Andrew Johnson is. And games. I love pretty much all the Batman Arkham games. Even Arkham Knight. It did annoy me a little bit, Arkham Knight, but even there was still a lot to enjoy that wasn't the Riddler. Hoping on another one of those as well. Love The Wolf Among Us. Sadly, we won't be getting a sequel to that. Unless somebody buys up the Telltale IP, which I suppose could happen, but they're going to have to buy up the IP and be willing to produce another game, and ideally do it with the people who made the last one. Favourite Batman movie? Well, that's the thing, Ruby Rose. I don't have a favourite Batman movie. I love Batman. He's my absolute favourite of all the superhero characters. But I think we've yet to have a good Batman movie. I don't think we've had a truly great live-action Batman. Affleck shockingly came close, but I think he got too annoyed with all the flack those movies got, because the movies themselves were not good films. That being said, I watched them. I was ultimately entertained, but for what they were trying to do, they weren't all that great. And I'll never watch them again. For me, there's no rewatch value in them. But yeah, same with Superman. Actually, no, you know what? I can actually say there is a live-action Superman I like. And that is, disappointingly, it's Tyler Hoechlin, because he only shows up now and again on Supergirl because it's not his show. And I think, although it would be awesome, it's unlikely we're going to get like a little Superman spin-off with that. Because Supergirl fans seem to get really... well, certain Supergirl fans, I mean, I'm a Supergirl fan, but certain fans get really mad when you suggest it'd be kind of cool if they did a Superman spin-off. Anyway, don't want to make people grumpy. What was I saying? Games. I think I covered most of them there. I don't play a lot. Just like, yeah, I'm always looking for new virtual reality games to try. The cheaper the better, because I'm not made of money. And I play Arizona Sunshine a bit too much. Hi, Nikki. Well, I think hanging out with your dad is far, far more important than old Hell Freezer. Appreciate the time you have with him while you have it. That's important. St. Patrick's Day, girl. Thanks, I'm Shigar. Thanks, Nikki. I'm trying to draw a background. I'm thinking what I'm going to draw. I suppose, let's see. If we try and draw a semi-straight line. Not really straight, but what the hell. And another one there. And He's meant to be on a boat. How do I make this look more boat-like? Oh wait, I can put one of these. There we are. Hi, Harlequin number 1. A ship sinking in the background. There we go. Tingly voice, your breathing is giving me minor heart palpitations. That might be acid reflux, actually, because I get that sometimes. Should I move the mic back a bit further? I need to actually see if I can get a whatchamacallit, a noise gate to use while I'm streaming, so you don't get the heavy breathing. Hey there, Barry. I really should stop calling you that. I know it's not your name. Well, that kind of misshapen donut thingy here, that's meant to be a life thingy. Hey, I'm tense, but getting less so. Streaming's helping. Bye, Ruby. Have a nice night. Jelly beans. Look away, and he's drawn a skinny monopoly guy with a cat. How dare you, Jenny? That's clearly a dog. Clearly. I should probably go grab something to drink. What's my favourite food? My favourite food are curries from a Chinese takeaway, which you can't have too often because they're super yummy but not good for you. Evie asks, still that curry sauce? Yeah, pretty much. And I've still got loads of it left, actually. Thanks, Sanja. People have mentioned it a time or two. Well, there's a lot of activity going on there. Did you finish your homework? I don't have homework. Tingly voice, it didn't come off as offensive. You've no reason to apologize, it's quite alright. think Australians are just British Texans? No, I think they're Australians. Well, I'm Shigara. It really depends on what you order. I mean, I don't go to the takeaway place a lot. Although there are periods where I'll go like once a week. Then I'll think, okay, that's enough. Then I won't go for ages. I mean, last week I got a king prawn curry with chips, mushrooms, prawn crackers, plenty to fill you up. But I literally hadn't had one of those at a takeaway place for about 3 years, 4 years maybe. Been a very long time. Oh yeah, pretty much done with that for now. Are there any other improvements I need to make? No, I'm thoroughly thinking about artwork and keeping the place tidy. He says as he looks around the living room, which needs to be tidied. Did the rich guy make the other ship sink? No, I think he just enjoys Schadenfreude. Decorated any? Well, the bedroom was decorated, that's about it. I think that's about as much as I can do with that one. Let's start another. I'm sorry, Paulina, I don't know what that is. New. Is the face reveal something you've ever thought of? Well, a lot of people have thought of it. Not at this time. Did you keep the mirror? The mirror, no, the mirror I took down and it's going to get thrown away. Yeah. Well, what I did do, I think I mentioned to you guys that I'd found a picture of the street I live on many, many years ago. I think about the 1940s. I'm not sure the exact date. Could have been the 1930s. Don't think much sooner than that. Of when the houses were being constructed. Hi, Ailey. Aileo. And so I got the shiny paper, the glossy paper, and thankfully my printer was able to print the image out okay. And I put that in a nice A5 frame with, was it A5? I think it was A5. With the A4 matte, the white matte insert, and so it looks really nice. So I put that in my hallway, but I still need to think about doing stuff for the walls in the living room, because there's nothing on the walls in the living room, because I just haven't been able to find anything I want. And the same for my bedroom, so I'm taking that a bit more seriously now. Well, he's our friend is still there. There we go. Well, the thing is, the mirror was part of a part of a dressing table, and the dressing table was thrown away, and I hacked the mirror off before it. I was in my teens at the time because I wanted a mirror for my bedroom. My father helped me mount it on the wall, so it's been up on the wall for a very long time. I want to say about 20 years. It could well have been 20 years. And I'm sure it was all before then. Any mods for the comment section yet? I'm not going to add any mods just yet. If things get hectic, or if we get overloaded with trolls, then I think... I'm sorry to hear that, Noble. I think we will have to add some moderators. Right now it's about manageable for me. Although when I do add moderators for anyone who wants that unpaid position, I'll have to find people who know the kind of things that I delete. No, so there'll be a bit of chat back and forth with anyone who wants to do it. Essentially, if you're rude about me, that's fine. I don't mind that being left. If you disagree with the story, that's totally fine. It's not fine to be rude and disagree with the story. If you're just going to walk in, like for example, people that post "Or that happened," that's an immediate delete for me. That's rude. Or if you say it's a liar, I'm calling bull, various things like that. They all get thingied. But like I say, we're not quite there yet. But I have had a few people say they're interested, so I'll probably end up adding moderators in chat before I add moderators to the comments. But I'm really not in. I'm still trying to get to grips with this new Creator Studio. It's not complete. There's features missing actually. Like I usually like to once a day. I like to go and check what the daily revenue is, or rather, it's usually a couple of days behind, which is fine. But I like to go check what the total revenue for the channel is, and that option is not there anymore. So they're gonna have to add that. I find the thing for uploading and adding all your details and your adverts to videos, it's quite a bit clunkier than the old one. So far I'm not loving it. Hopefully once they get all the bugs laid out, the new Creator Studio will work as well as the old one. But I did like that little feature about adding comment moderators for when it becomes necessary. Well, the thing, you can go back to the old one, but you have to keep clicking back to the old one, I find. It's like if I click to go back, then I click on something, then it takes me to the new version, then I've got to click for the classic one. Anyways, so it's not ready yet, so I don't think they should make that the default. Maybe give it another month or two of development before they do that. And it's just my opinion. Are there any subreddits you frequent that you don't make videos for? Yeah, most of them actually. Trying to think, is there anything dodgy that I follow that I don't want you guys looking at? No, we're alright. Yeah, see, basically most of these I don't make videos for. I mean, there's a lot of TV show ones. You know, like Altered Carbon, Babylon 5, Archer. Well, Anne Rice isn't a TV show, but she's an author I like sometimes. But yeah, most of the story-related ones are either ones that I do source stories from, or I intend to source stories from. That is right, Tingly Voice. The new version does look rather nice. But, yeah. Oh, bye, Evie. Have a nice night. Well, I kind of got used to the setup in the old Altered Carbon, so it's going to be odd seeing yet another actor playing that role. I think Chan is a little bit behind. Hi, Chan. Yeah, Tiger Tales. I do streams. I haven't been publishing the most recent ones. Because they're kind of fun to do live, but I don't think a lot of people bother watching them afterwards. just not behind. No, Chan. But I say Chan is a little bit behind. Yeah, just make sure that there's a little red dot where it says live, because sometimes it's easy to get that, to knock that back a little bit. Lost my train of thought again. Yeah, streams are. I did say I was cutting down to 1 a month because I was doing quite a lot of them, but so far this is my 3rd one this month because I was bored. Okay, just waiting for inspiration. Yeah, it's usually about this size, usually between 30. I think the highest it's been is about 70 people at once. But usually about 30, 40. Which I like. I mean, the chat ticks by at a nice pace, but I can still follow it. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to nip into the kitchen and get something to drink. I'm quite thirsty. Oh, Chan, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Trust my hills and shit. That'd be a bit messy. What I've got is it's Croston Press Cloudy Apple. It's rather nice. Someone's drinking Mountain Dew. I actually quite like Mountain Dew. Well, I used to like that one amp they did. I think they rebranded. I can't find it anymore. That's often the way. Yes, Bella, what's your question? There's an email, it's kingofthecities@gmail.com. It's in the description of most videos. Pretty much every video apart from the streams, really. Thank you, husband bought 3,000. Is there a wife bought 3,000? If there is, send one my way. It's meant to be a Pop Tart. Maybe I should add some colour. Maybe that's getting a bit too fancy. Brush. A little pink. Babe. Okay, maybe we'll just leave the colour off. That's not quite working. Should have put the drawings on a separate layer. Yes, Roger the Pop Tart here. He's off to fight in the Breakfast Wars. His father was killed by a grapefruit. Maybe we should have a shield. Actually, let's. Hi, Ashley. Hope your mom's okay. Well, tell me where I can go to make that money. Don't remember that one, Barry. I must have blocked it out. No, Rebecca, just you can usually hear the sound of the clock ticking in the background. I hush up sometimes if I'm doing a bit of doodling. Okay, I hear creaking coming from my parents' old bedroom, but they have been dead for many, many years. Hi, Bison Burgers. That is indeed a Warrior Pop-Tart. I hadn't actually thought of that, Shigar. Yeah, it does look a bit like a donut, doesn't it? Look, in 10, 14 years. Yeah, that's right. Well remembered. I was going to work in that picture I was working on the other night, but I can't find it. What was the whistle? I think there is a train line not too far away from me. They moved the station a few years back, so it's probably that. As I told you, his father was killed by a grapefruit. He swore revenge on all non-sugar-based breakfast treats. Thanks, Raven. You think you sent me something else recently, didn't you? I'll have to check. I've got a bunch of messages to respond to. Might do that tomorrow if I can. Oh, my hard drive might be here tomorrow. I might try and make time to do it, at least over the weekend. Hi, Hunter. Well, it's a little known fact, Martha G. Pop-Tarts hate all forms of life and have dedicated their existence to slowly wiping them all out. Not a lot of people know that. I don't actually know what a toaster strudel looks like. Even other living Pop-Tarts. They hate themselves especially. Which actually reminds me, I need to get a new toaster. Tingly voice, no. I'd have to find out a chat to read the mail. Oh, right. So it's basically an Amish Pop-Tart. Is what a toaster strudel is. I think I've had those. I didn't get the crock pot, not yet. I've actually been using my pressure cooker to do similar things, but I might still get the crock pot because it'd be nice to have something I can just let go and have it turn itself off. Okay, he's looking a bit lonely there. What can we do? Now, have fun, Hunter. Are they cool with crumpets? No, they don't like crumpets, the posh bastards. No. Let me give him a sidekick. A crumpet. Oh, how do I describe a crumpet? It's a bit better just to show you, actually. There's my tiny keyboard. There we are. It's a thing that goes in a toaster. You put butter or jam / jelly on it. La crumpet. There you go. They're actually not bad. I haven't had them for a while, but they're not bad. Place of origin, Wales of England. Wales of England. Always, have you seen Epic Rap Battles of History? I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever actually seen it, though. Easy to make yourself. I've never tried making them from scratch. I usually just buy a pack of like 6 if I'm having them. No. Most supermarkets in the UK have them. Because it's a very British thing. And you just pop them in your toaster and then you put the butter on, obviously, or whatever you're putting on while it's hot. Because you want it to melt a little bit. I'm not sure if they'd be easily findable in the US. Apparently there's a Scottish crumpet. Yeah, that's a pancake, mate. Yeah, I mean, a crumpet's a crumpet. You had to fight 3-month-old puppies. Oh, that's awful. Oh, English muffins. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm not sure how widespread they are, but they are quite nice. If you can see them, you pick them up. They're not usually too expensive. At least they're not over here. I think it might be one of those things. They could be expensive in other countries, but they're not over here. Hi, so psyched. List of British breads. Yes, British breads, I tell you. Okay, so that's a crepe. Lemon curry. See, I like both of those things, but I don't really like the idea of... They don't sound that great in combination. Oh, I was up to about, so psyched. I was up to about 8 in the morning this morning, editing, so I could get everything wrapped up. So I got everything made early, and then I just had to upload the videos when I woke up. Favorite kids' TV shows when I was growing up? Tiger Tales. Well, it depends. When I was really young, I used to like Penny Crayon. It was Sue Pollard. I think it was Sue Pollard. And she played the character Penny. And then she had these magical crayons and she drew things and they came to life. But also, I liked all the stuff, like a lot of kids, from my age did, like, the Turtles, that sort of thing, Ghostbusters. In fact, I watched one of them recently. It surprisingly holds up. I can't be assessed right now. Does anyone remember Nellie the Elephant? Nellie the Elephant packed her trunk and said goodbye to the circus. Off she went with the trumpety trump, 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 trump. Penny Crayon. I'm fairly sure it was Sue Pollard. Let's see if we can find a curry. Penny Crayon, there she is. There she is. It turns out she was actually one of the first hipsters by the look of her. Yeah, Sue Pollard, Peter Hawkins. How long did that last? From September 1989 to 1990. So I would have been about 8 or 9 when I watched that. Just waiting for the gritty reboot. Turns out Penny's been doing heroin for the past 10 years. She just can't draw anymore, man. She can't get the inspiration. And when she tries to become these horrible, hideous, deformed creatures. Nellie the Elephant. It was definitely Nellie in the UK, but it could have been like Where's Waldo? Because, the character was actually called Wally. But in some places he's called Waldo. Because I guess Wally's too British? Maybe. The elephant. Okay, let's see. Based on the famous children's song Nellie the Elephant, the series revolves around the pink elephant named Nellie, who is returning from her home in Mandalay. Mandalay, after escaping the circus. Through the series, she meets new characters and And then swears vengeance for the death of her father, leading to an impressive but bloody climactic battle at the end of the series. Don't remember that. Hi, Spooky Sid. Okay, let's see if there were alternate versions. Could have been. No, it doesn't see anything there. No, it looks like it was just Nelly. Well, you certainly are. Most of these shows were long gone before you were born, and I doubt any of them are airing these days. I mean, Nelly the Elephant only went on for a couple of years. Now, did you ever do a bit with being scared? I don't really do a lot of collaborations. Rebecca, that might have been the case. Or maybe he just thought it was actually Ellie. Who knows? I wonder, is there any more information? Did it change at any point? Nelly the Elephant. The song. 1956 by Ralph Butler. Original version. No, it looks like it was actually always Nelly. Well, there we go then. Hey, Sudoku no Kai. We're talking about old kids' TV shows. Got a cleft nasal passage. You can get that fixed, can't you? So if you could ask any question of a mental health professional, what would you want to ask? Just curious. Why are you in my house? Simon Land of Chalk Drawings. Simon Land of Chalk Drawings. I don't remember that one. Simon the Sorcerer. Well, nothing's coming up. There was a show called Sliver Bunbury. I'm from Australia. Friends with talking animals. I don't remember that one, Raven. Then again, it's been a long time since I watched Fawlty Towers. I just remember the bit where he gets out of the car and he's like, right, that's it. I'm going to give you a damn good thrashing. No, it doesn't look like it's anything to do with that. in pajamas are coming downstairs. Everybody hide. Any particular accent you like listening to the sound of? I like a really posh accent. And I like a very friendly Southern American accent. Rebecca says, in Norway we had English class and one time our teacher just put on Fawlty Towers to teach us about British humour. It's because it's okay, I switched accounts. I'm starting a horror-based channel. Now, I'll say this to you, Sid, before you start your channel. I don't need the competition. But you're not going to listen to that. So make sure you're doing content from the get-go that you're going to be happy doing years down the line. Because a lot of people, I'm only joking about the competition thing, by the way, but a lot of people, when they start the channel, they have an idea right away and they think, yeah, this will be great, I love doing this. And then people pay attention when they're doing that. And then they get a little burned out. It happened to a lot of Minecraft gamers and others. So make sure if you're doing horror, you only want to do horror. If not, try and diversify quite early on. I made a point of diversifying my channel, and it makes it easier for me when I try new things, because most of what I do is mixed. I wouldn't even say I'm strong one genre over the other. Although it's kind of leaning more towards comedy these days. Slightly. No hit me, always you hit me. A rat. Eating the nuts, if you please. Hi, Callisto. Nope. Castillo. I've been calling you Callisto for a long, long time. Blues Clues. I think that was one my niece watched when she was little. John Pertwee's Doctor Who. A tear, Sarah Jane? For me? Thank you, Zenthar. Zenithir. I get there eventually. You always pick when I'm at work to stream, but tonight is quiet, so I caught you, you bastard. I actually streamed later than usual tonight. I'd usually start about 8, and I started at 11 tonight. It was kind of a last minute thing. Just to keep me amused. I'll probably go for my usual 2 hours, actually. Unless we all get bored. Good stuff, Sid. Important thing is you keep yourself entertained first. If people say you're enthusiastic about what you're doing, then they'll enjoy that, because they'll know if you're not. Barry, I've been streaming for about an hour and 12 minutes. had a bit of trouble getting the chat to load up on my tablet because it's loading up on desktop, but for some reason it wouldn't load up on my tablet until I went to the classic view, annoyingly. That's fair enough, Chan. Take care, Paulina. I think creepypastas are absolutely fine. It's a good way for people to develop their writing skills. You know, it's a perfectly valid short story form. Personally, I don't really want to narrate them because I found other things I do more enjoyable. I've been thinking about fairy tales recently. I want to do another one of those, but I've also got a lot. I've got a lot on because I want to get on with the Jack stories because it's been a little bit since I did one of those. Dracula's currently stalled at chapter 3, but I'm determined to finish that. So we'll see. Thanks, Whispering Times. I appreciate that. I love Tom Baker as Captain Ned and Blackadder. You have a woman's hand, my lord. Well, I have done just regular fairy stories in the past, like The Ugly Duckling, Prince Kindhearted, and so on. Bye, Barry. Take care. Emergency response stories. I've considered it. I was thinking of doing some. I might take all of those if I can find any, and doctors and nurses, and just kind of smush them all into whatever. Because I was going to do like a police video as well. So if I just take all those kind of things and smush them into one topic, that might work. You have a woman's bottom. Well, I should hope so. Mine might be. I love that bit where only his beard survives. Thank you, Xenothera. Just in your own time. You know, there's no rush. I've been looking more into mythology recently, so I might end up doing something like that. It's been on my mind. I'm just still thinking about the form I want it to take. Bill, why did I even start doing YouTube? I heard other people doing it. I thought, that sounds like it might be fun. So I decided to give it a go. It was like the Iliad, the Odyssey. Well, kinda like more like like the labors of Heracles and Bellerophon. It was a bit of a prat, turns out by all accounts. Jason and the Argonauts. No, don't rush, Rebecca. I mean, health first. That's the absolute most important thing. Are you going to stop? Again, what do you mean, am I going to stop? I don't have any plans to stop narrating at the moment. I mean, it's my job, for a start. But I won't start. I am considering doing audiobooks. I just need to... sorry, I just need to find auditions I want to record and send them in. Then clear out the time to actually record the book. That's right, Rebecca. Do as old Doc Hellfreezer tells you. Well, Xanthera, I'm pretty much all mythology. There's no point in limiting myself. I mean, I was kind of inspired by Dale Kingsmill, and you guys should check her out. She does amazing. She does a lot of like D&D stuff as well, which personally I'm not interested in. But she also does fairy tale tellings, where she just kind of sits down extemporaneously, obviously with a lot of research, tells you the story. And she also does cool little drawings that goes with them. And I don't want to copy her, but I do like the idea of covering those stories, so I've just got to think of the way I want to do them. I was half thinking of doing them with my Drac voice, because it is a very, very cool voice, and I had to throw the videos away, but I don't want to lose the voice itself. Aristophanes has the frogs. Never heard of that once. Look it up. Hell, oh, don't worry, if I do audiobooks, I'll certainly announce it on the channel. What was I looking up? Aristophanes. Good night, I'm Shigar. I was out there. You not heard? Well, the author partly made up the Drax stories, which was bad enough. But it turns out there were multiple people they were presenting as Drac, and one of the people she later learned may be autistic. I don't know if it's been confirmed. So she felt very bad about having written those stories down and contacted me and asked me to remove them. 9 through 12 gone. 9's back up. Real black line. And I just explained why they were gone. 9's back up with the Drac stories cut out. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfy again. And the others will be back up again once I snip the Drac stories out. I was actually really surprised by how well episode 9 did again, even though it was a re-upload of a video I deleted. It actually did better than that Days Glitch video. That's how popular the Neckbeard stories are. Now, bye Susact. Have fun. Thank you, Fluffy Feathers. Anagram of his name. Well, that's not really hard to work out, Zenithir. Yeah, that's fair enough, Robbie. There's plenty of diversity on the channel. Some people come for one thing, other people come from the others. Well, I will say the Impractical Parents, the Entitled Parents stories, they're proven to be just about as popular. So good. And we do have Neckbeards this Sunday, but I'm going to get to work on another Impractical Parents, or iPop. A Cantonese accent. I'm not sure it would have been. Was it mentioned they had a Cantonese accent in the story you sent me? I can't even remember. Is that a family member's picture? No. Yeah, I'm half considering cleaning this up and putting on a t-shirt. Neckbeards in the Wild 3 gone. Oh, I forgot about that one. That one's actually still up. There's a story in there where one of the guys. It doesn't happen during this story, but it is something he didn't mention in this story. But it turns out one of the Neckbeard, and these are meant to be funny videos where we're poking fun at silly people. He's Chinese. I think I could probably have done that accent in a way that wouldn't sound offensive, because it's very... I mean, there's a stereotypical accent, then there's an actual... bye Bison Burgers. Have a nice night. I think I could probably have done that. Maybe. Anyway, Neckbeards in the Wild 3, where the Neckbeard in that story was actually a rapist. and I was getting a lot of comments about that. I wasn't getting any flack from it. It's just people were like, "My God, I can't believe that." Like I was such a. What does a Cantonese accent sound like? I'd have to look up a specifically Cantonese one. I think intent's important a lot of time when it comes to the things people get offended over. I think I ate too early. I'm starting to get hungry again. Oh, Shigard, some people are just nervous laughers. I always feel bad for people that laugh nervously. It's like, honey, you're so not having a good time. You're drawing a Pop-Tart. And I don't have any. No Pop-Tarts. I don't think. But I wouldn't want to use that toaster anyway. It's kind of a bit manky. Can't remember the last time I took the tray out. Need a new one. Okay, thanks a lot for stopping in, Red Black Line. Maybe I'll see you next time. Whenever that may be. Is it Pop-Tart? And we've decided that's a donut shield. It was accidental, but donut shield. And that's just a regular sword. I don't have any pets at all. I have a doggy nephew, but no actual pets at all myself. The thing is, the toaster still works. It's just... Here's the thing. You get your crumb tray with the toaster, right? But you can't really clean the rest of it that well. And it's... Oh, that toaster is... that toaster's about 15, 16 years old at least. Don't want you 'cause your feet's too big. Your feet's too big. That's the one with John Lithgow, isn't it? Oh my God, a Bigfoot. Draw some French toast the next time. Oh. Maybe our friend here could have a companion. Let's see. Ruby. Well, I do other accents all the time. If I would pay for my bread and cheese. Like I say, I think context is important in a lot of the cases. Well, there's nothing wrong with still being a virgin. You know, these things happen when they happen. I mean, I am. Not ashamed of it. But that hoarder thing needs to be knocked on the head. John Lithgow's in the Twilight Zone, the movie with the gremlin on the wing. Yeah, remember that episode of Third Rock from the Sun? Where William Shatner showed up playing the big giant head? And he says to him, oh my god. Oh my god, it was horrible. There was this thing on the wing of the plane. And Lithgow goes, oh my god, that happened to me too. And I'm aware of my Shatner impressions. Kind of shit. Robbie, but you're a white guy. And I'm also pretty fly. Harlequin, you're joking about the virgin thing? No. It is what it is. Even okay. It's a bad state of affairs if you can't even get someone whose job it is. Hey, Almond Brown. We're just chatting and doing art. Well, we'll call it art. Hellfreezer is most definitely not asexual. Hellfreezer's just not very social. You see, you have to go out the house to meet people. For things other than just buying groceries. Buy gaming with Minecraft. Thanks, King Akira. The other guy's French toast. And plus, get out of the house this week. I was out of the house today. Oh no, that's a beret. A very badly drawn beret. Is this a real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Okay, I'll stop there. I'm sure he frequently does if he's unaware of it. Well, I probably would be unaware of it, to be quite honest with you. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy. Elton John, Michael Jackson, and Five Nights at Freddy's music. I think they're doing there's an Elton John biopic coming out, isn't there? Another film I probably won't watch. No, I've got to be careful I don't sing too much of the same song. Not that any algorithm's going to mistake me for Freddie Mercury, but you never know. He can play guitar too. He can kind of sort of play guitar a little bit, but not too well. You'll be watching Tolkien though, Hellraiser. No. No, I've never really been into his work. I thought it was based on his life. They keep calling him Reg in it. Hello, my name is Reg. Oh, you can't call yourself Reg. I call myself Elton John. That's my name. Oh, no. No, I think it's called Rock. Amy Rock It Man. I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the... Yeah, it's biographical musical fantasy drama based on the life of musician Elton John. Dexter Fletcher. Hang on, didn't he finish off Bohemian Rhapsody? Yeah, it was him, wasn't it? He used to be an actor. He did finish off Bohemian Rhapsody. You should have just credited him as the director. Good for him. That's probably how he got the gig, because I'd imagine he was well into working on that one when he got the call. Yeah, I mean, every now and again I'm tempted to, like, you know, practice a song enough that I can actually play it on the guitar and maybe record it and upload it somewhere to like a secondary channel, but it's too risky. Even though they actually still encourage you to do that, and just give us a list of songs we can actually do, it'd be great. Bernard Black. Are you talking about the show Black Books? Is there anything if offended your honour? Okay, fair enough. Handbags at dawn. Well, you can get there at dawn. I'll be along at some point. Once I wake up and have breakfast, run some errands. I've got to get my lorry, have a nap, and have dinner. Maybe do a bit of work. I'll be there eventually. The film tells the story of Elton John's life from his years as a prodigy. No, it's pretty much just a biopic, it looks like. I mean, wrong, Taron Egerton actually looks pretty good as Elton John. The French Toast. He just kind of floats there in Judges. Monsieur Pop Tart, I see you have not been practicing your stabbing technique this morning. I shall of course have to tell the General. Well, that's the thing, Rob B. They do say you can. That's one of the things YouTube says, and they encourage you that you can monetize covers of songs. And a lot of YouTube musicians do, and if it's allowed, then that's fine. Oh no, I can't give the French toast bacon legs. He's vegetarian. Now there is a film coming out I do want to see. It's not a biopic. Is it called Yesterday? There's a guy who wakes up in a world where the Beatles never existed. Yeah, it is Yesterday, 2019 film. Yeah, that's it. And so, like any of us would, he grabs his guitar and writes all the Beatles songs and becomes very popular. If you're making money out of what about copyright? I think there's a revenue share thing. I'm not sure how it works though. I'd really have to look into it. I completely zoned out there. Oh yeah, I've tried it. It tastes like well, it tastes like bacon actually, but the texture is awful, kind of rubbery. I tried making a vegetarian fry up, and I found really decent corn sausages. Got a big bag of them in the freezer. I got the Lincolnshire ones. I used to get corn sausages all the time. They were fine. Then I could only find the Lincolnshire ones, which I don't like. They're too herby. But I did find good ones. And you can have them. You can have eggs. But so far, there just isn't a good bacon substitute. There isn't actually bacon. And then potatoes. Potatoes coins are fine. Melissa Marie, that is the clock on the wall in the kitchen. Can't remember the last time I changed the battery in that. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over. Anyway, somebody asked, "Are you vegetarian?" No, I'm not. I've cut out red and processed meat because I read some stuff I didn't really like, and I thought, yeah, not worth the risk. So we'll cut that out beyond the occasional indulgence. I can definitely see myself becoming vegetarian at some point because it wouldn't really be much of a chore because there's a lot of great vegetarian stuff. There's a lot of good substitutes for meat in that. And it's always something new to explore. Did I miss anything? Well, usually what happens, Vampire Venus, is the battery will run out in the clock, and I won't realise until like a month or so after. Because I barely even the ticking sound of the clock, you don't even notice it when it's just a normal house sound. So when it's gone, it takes a while for you to click. Hang on, it's a bit quiet. Have you ever felt your person had a supernatural experience? I've never had anything happen to me that I couldn't rationally explain away. Although sometimes it's nice to think maybe the rational explanation is the wrong one. Surfers. Martha G, would you ever consider covering a song once? I'd consider it. Maybe. If it was legally acceptable to do so. Somebody asked about a video. I think was it someone asking about entitled parents? Was that it? No, hi Vampire Venus. Yeah, yesterday there was a TV show in the UK called Good Night Sweetheart, and I don't think they're consciously ripping anybody off, but that was about a guy, starred Nicholas Lyndhurst. He found this passageway back to like a war-torn, wherever it was he lived, during the era of World War II, and he masqueraded as a spy. And this was pre-Beatles, so he would claim he'd written the Beatles songs and he'd play them for the people in the pub. So it's kind of similar to that in a way. Oh yeah, somebody did ask about entitled parents. It's I'm going to do another one. Got really good feedback. I think you get the best feedback for a new series yet. So, a sensational feeling of familiar smells of your parents. Yeah, I do occasionally still smell cigarette smoke, which is annoying. But my mother was a smoker. Rebecca panel. It sort of has to be legal though, right? I mean, Bublé has made a whole career of doing cover songs. Well, I think if you're talking about Michael Bublé, I think he licenses them. But there's so many channels on YouTube that do cover songs, so it's got to be alright. And most of the channels are monetized, so I'd assume what happens there is some companies are okay with it and they'll take a cut of the money and they'll split it with the person doing the cover, and others will tell you to take it down depending on who it is. That's how I think it works. I'd really have to look into it. I got the decorating done. I just need pretty things to put on the walls. That's all I'm doing now, whenever I can find them. What I may end up doing is maybe create stuff myself, or if I can find old images, like I did with one, if I can find old cool looking images I like, I'll print them out and maybe tweak them and modify them a little bit, and call myself an artist. Whispering Times, I'm right here. Did I go somewhere? Signal still seems strong. 3 months old are finally asleep. Yay! think it'll only be on for about another 10 minutes anyway. That brings to about 2 hours. I'll be honest with you, AC, I don't really like to bother people. I mean, if people want to submit art, they're certainly welcome to do so, but no, I'm not going to put out a call for it. Yeah, I'm not really sure when the next one will be, Shigar. Probably April sometime, I think. I don't think I'll do another one before April. Thank you, Rob. You've actually helped calm me down a bit. I was quite tense when I started the stream. Well, thank you. Thank you, Gig the Apple. Very much appreciated. One day you'll be minding your own business, you'll see a notification. Well, that's the kind of surprise email I don't mind. Raven, no, I don't have a PO box. They're too expensive to keep open. They really are. It's gonna be a couple £100 a year, £300 a year almost. Much too expensive. Yeah, I usually schedule my streams a couple of hours in advance of when I do them. It's just this one was spur of the moment, so there's generally a little bit more warning. Right, I think I'll try and find a film to watch after this. I'm in the mood for a film and a cup of tea. I did start watching Velvet Buzzsaw, but it kind of bored me a little bit. I hear it gets better though. Thank you, Lulu. Are you excited about the Jane Silent Bob reboot? A little bit, actually. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched a Kevin Smith movie for a long time. I think the last one I saw was Red State. Yeah, because I didn't really care for Tusk. I didn't really care for Yoga Hosers. I mean, I found the podcast where they spoke about the idea that ultimately became the film more interesting than the actual film idea itself. But yeah, I quite like Kevin Smith. Find him quite funny, quite entertaining, and he seems to be getting a lot of the familiar faces. Oh, Heliquin, no. It's basically a sequel. The reboot of the title is okay. Stick your fingers in your ears and your heads up your butts if you don't want to be spoiled. The basic concept of the film is Jay and Silent Bob hear that they're actually going to reboot the Jay and Silent Bob franchise, like the movie they made in Jay and Bob Strike Back. So they go to Hollywood to stop it. I think that's the idea. So I don't think Affleck's in it. I'd be surprised if he is. But I know that... oh, crap, what's his name? He played Earl. The guy that plays Banksy, he's in it again. Jason something. Mine's blanking. And obviously Jason Mewes is in it. And... yeah, and his wife, his daughter, they're there. Ralph Garman, he's in it. I saw a picture on Instagram the other day of Garman's feet. Whatever his character's doing, he's playing a suit. Diedrich Bader, like, my, what a lovely tea party. He's in it as well. You see, they did something in the last season of Red Dwarf. It was terrible. What is it you're talking about, AC? I watched it last season. I don't remember anything like that. Hammers of Justice. Yeah, he was quite good in Brave and the Bold. I was very pleasantly surprised by how good that was, actually. I thought, nah, I'm a grown man. There's nothing for me here, and I absolutely loved it. Oh, you're talking about Back to Earth. Yeah, because the last couple of series of Red Dwarf I've actually quite enjoyed. I thought they were quite good. Still trying to remember his name. Yeah, that was Back to Earth. That was a few years ago, actually. Find out exactly what it was. Tiny keyboard to the rescue. Nope, spell it right. Yeah, it was 2009. Looks like. And only 3 episodes. I don't think I've watched that since it aired. Because we're about to, I think they're about to start work on 13. Don't know when it's out though. I'm sure I saw something on Twitter about Danny John Jules. Yeah, they'll be doing it this year. Probably out next year. Good. Glad they started making them again. Hi, Truther. Alright, that's bothering me. I need to remember that bugger's name. It was Jason something. I know, it's just I'm completely blanking on it. Yep. Jason Lee. How the hell could I forget that? Anyway, he's back as Banksy. Or Banky. I think it might be Banky. No, I don't hang out with this. I don't really hang out with anybody outside the stream, to be honest with you. In the corner, that is a fried egg with a jetpack on. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. That's just over 2 hours. Need a pastry in the picture. The Pop-Tart counts as a pastry. Okay, so I'm going to head off for now, folks. I appreciate you keeping me company. You've cheered me up quite a bit. I'm much less tense than I was 2 hours ago. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.